Frank had made a presentation in opposition, so I wanted to give the board an opportunity to ask Frank any questions. David?
No, thank you.
Scott?
Attorney Duffy, through testimony, Mr. Gore stated that quite a bit of his information to make his determination came from you, Heather Harper, and other members of the hierarchy, I guess, for lack of a better term. Have you been to the site, sir?
No, I have not. I've driven by that area. I'm generally familiar with it, but I have not been there. And by the way, it's not really correct that
I'm just going on the testimony.
I gave him, he talked to me, but not at any great length.
I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood. I thought he stated that he got it from town council.
Well, he did talk to me, yes, but it would probably last no more than 10 minutes.
Okay. To your knowledge, has anyone else that he spoke of been to that site?
I have no idea.
Okay. And I guess my last question for you, sir, would be, do you find it concerning that on a case of this magnitude, not one town official has been to that site to interview the complainant in this? Nobody. Not Mr. Gore, not anybody.
I don't know if I'm a proper judge of whether or not it's concerning or not.
You're town council, sir.
But no one asked me whether they should go or not. The only person I talked to be honest, Mr. Zielinski, was Mr. Gore. He's the only person who inquired of me about this case.
And forgive me, I'm not trying to be facetious with you.
No, I understand you're not.
You stood up and stated that you were acting as Mr. Gore's backup tonight, and I'm just trying to get an answer to one question.
That's fine. I'm supporting his position. I did not go to the site. I talked to him briefly for about 10 minutes. That's about it. It's not my job to tell Mr. Gore how to do his. He asks me questions and I give him answers.
Are we in agreement that I'm just going off a testimony, Mr. Gore's testimony, and I'm following up on statements that were made tonight by Mr. Gore? That's all. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Patty?
Do you think the Logan Airport case prevails, is very similar to this one and would prevail in court?
It would be my intention, if the matter came to litigation, I would raise that as a defense, and I would urge the court to adopt it. Yes, I would.
Okay. That's the only question I have.
Frank, just one question. Could a properly permitted use ever be a nuisance?
Again, the case that I cited talks about the fact that you have to look at all of the surrounding circumstances. There are no hard and fast rules as to what does and what does not constitute a nuisance. It is largely a degree in the relationship of various factors to each other. Under certain circumstances, you might find that something that's permitted is a nuisance, and you also might not.
Okay, thanks. Sri, any questions of Frank?
No, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Frank.
All right.
The board is going to stop this hearing at this point. It's not going to take any further public testimony because of the amount of time, and we have two other hearings later on. I think the board needs to have a discussion, however, before we move on. That's why I'm stopping it at this point, about what additional information it feels it needs. And I want to give everyone that's here the opportunity to have their say, and I don't want to be bumping up to the pressure of the time. So what further information, if any, would the board need? There is a time limit on the extension that Mrs. Okagawa gave us, so we need to factor all of those things in. So let's start with, is there any additional information that the board might need?
What's the time limit?
The decision would have to be written no later than August 17th, if I remember correctly. The next opportunity for this board to hear anything further would be on August 8th, where we set aside a special meeting specifically to conclude a hearing that's already gone on for 2 evenings. and that would be the third evening.
I don't need any more information.
Okay, Scott?
I need some more time, though. I really do. I need to go back through this file and read all the case law and try to.
Patty, you'd still want to hear from the public, you just don't need any additional information. in terms
Studies,
of
that sort of thing.
Studies or anything else, anything that you want.
That's right.
Okay, Scott?
I'm in agreement. I
Okay.
think it would be, if we had some more time to review the file that's in front of us, plus what goes on.
David?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think I need any more studies and,
Yeah. I'll just share something with you that I have to say I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable not being at the site during a time period when there's shadow flicker. A lot of, I think the discussion under 110 for a nuisance is, I think it had been mentioned even by Mr. Duffy in his opening comments, is something that we as this is a 4-member board, has to make a determination on. And although I saw some video, I guess I'm a very tactile person. And I'm feeling, to be honest with you, very inadequate in terms of not having heard this case during a time period when shadow flicker can be evidenced. That's just, now, the practicality of that, in order to do that, we'd have to continue this to sometime in October. And I'm not sure that the applicant hasn't, but I'm just sharing with you, I don't think there are any other studies. We've exhausted the study piece of this. I'm concerned personally about models. Don't tell you what's on the ground. If you're at the bottom of the West Falmouth Highway and you're not at the top of that hill, you don't get to sense those things. And I think this board has always taken the time to look at a site for everything that it can give us. So I'm just telling you, I'm having a bit of concern.
I feel this is very much a flicker case. You certainly have heard a lot about the infrasound and noise and all that, but this is distinctively flicker from what has been presented to us.
So far.
Yes.
Just
I mean, it's both things, but flicker,
Yeah.
to me, is the uniqueness of this.
Yeah. The other thing too, and I may have not heard it, but when I specifically asked Linda about the number of hours that cumulatively had impacted in terms of flicker, there wasn't an answer to that. So at least I would want that information, but I'm also telling you, I'm having a hard time not being able to experience.
Personally.
You're exactly right, because
personally,
obviously nobody but the complainant has experienced it through testimony thus far. Nobody.
So I mean, that's just my concern,
Well,
so.
can we ask Linda
Yeah,
if she'd give us an extension?
Linda, given, and I can, and again, the idea would be that we haven't heard from all of the public yet, and of course, the public would be limited to what's happening at 821 West Falmouth Highway, and again, no forums or anything else, so that we haven't got there yet. If we were to continue this within the time frame, which might be the 8th of August, we might be able to get everyone's testimony in that was pertinent, but the real issue is there seems to be somewhat of an agreement that we haven't had the opportunity to experience part of the nuisance claim on your property. So is there any interest in continuing this matter to, quite frankly, sometime in October? I don't know.
I'm gone
Later
in October.
Later in
too.
October, because
Yeah.
if you look at the calendar,
Yeah,
look
it's
at the
like-
specific dates and
And
times.
it would have to be where all 4 of us are available. And again, we can try to accommodate by scheduling something to do this. But we're just trying to get some guidance, Linda. So if you'd come up to the microphone and just share with us your thoughts. Or if you feel that that's an unreasonable request of ours, you can say that as well.
I guess I need a little time to think about it. If we were continued to October, that'll be the end of October. I don't know, the rest of everything goes on and I understand you wanting to see it, but what happens in terms of, do I have enough waivers and so forth?
Not at this point. Your waiver will get us through to the decision having to be filed by August 17th, because this is an appeal.
How many waivers can you have?
As many as you want to give us right now. It's
I think
completely
Linda-
up to you, but the decision
Yeah.
does have to be made tonight. It has to
Whether
be
we-
done publicly and in the hearing process. Maybe the board could just continue this until after the other two hearings,
Yeah,
strictly
maybe.
to get an answer from you.
Okay, I'd appreciate
That would be
I-
fine.
I also think she should understand that a four-member board has to be unanimous, right?
Right, and that's why I said earlier
That's
that
right.
we would
She
have
does
to all be
understand that. I've
together.
explained that.
So,
Right.
any decision on this case, it has to be by a unanimous vote of this board.
Right.
And if this were to continue till October, and there are additional members to this board, which we hope, because we're down one, they won't be able to participate.
understand
It's these
that.
4 individuals.
Right.
Excuse me, Chairman.
Yep.
Do you want to, before you give your decision, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there is a conflict with one member.
I'm at the academy.
Right, through October or at the?
I leave the 12th, and I'm there for 16 days, whatever that makes it.
Well, if we
That
look at
puts it
the,
into November,
And
the
that's,
first week
I
of November.
cannot change that.
No.
well, take a look if you will. I have it somewhere, but I just give you for the file the calendar of, liquor?
Yes,
Can
it
you-
is, it's
Well,
submitted
it
to
was
the
pretty
file.
accurate on when it's, no, but I mean, it was pretty accurate about when it would start. So, it was October
Linda, if you want,
25th, so it's going to be late in October anyways. and
Right.
So we are
it
talking-
ramps up a little.
so we're talking about November. So, I mean, here, what I think it's a good suggestion from our zoning administrator that we'll continue this till at least the end of the next 2 hearings so that you can think about this, because I think there's some real importance to this. That if you don't want to continue it until November, then we will need to continue it to probably the 8th of August, all 4 of us going to be here,
Make a decision.
to at least get the rest of the public information and make a decision at that point. Okay? So why don't you think about that? All right, what I'd entertain is a motion to continue this until we conclude the 2
Public
remaining hearings. Is there a motion?
Motion.
I'll second it.
David and Scott, all those in favor of continuing to the end of the next 2 hearings, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Thank you very much. Frank? Yeah, please. Oh, absolutely.
The only thing that's going to happen then at the end of tonight is you're going to schedule this for August 8th
Or sometime in November.
or sometime in November.
Right.
There's no reason for anybody else to stay. That's the only decision that's going to be made.
That's
correct?
exactly right. And if you aren't here, we'll give you the courtesy of letting you know exactly when it is,
I won't be here.
tonight. Okay. We will let you know, and thank you for your participation.
Excuse me, that does bring up a valid point, though. If it is continued to either August 8th or, say, the second week in November, do you know if you're going to be available?
I'm available August 8th. That's the only day I can tell you for sure.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. So we'll come back at the end of the night. We'll make a decision as to when this gets continued to. So thank you very much. I'd appreciate if anyone is leaving at this time, keep it quiet and go outside with any conversations. Thank you. Okay, our next application is our first application of the, new application of the evening, and it is application 58-13, Mary Catherine Mamry, and I ask the clerk to read that into the record.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you're hereby notified that Mary Catherine Mamry, trustee of 42 Brainerd Road Realty Trust.
Excuse me, I apologize. Can Mark Cool come back in?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mark should come back in.
Yep. Why don't you continue to read it, and Go ahead, continue to read it in.
Mary Catherine Mamry, trustee of 42 Brainerd Road Realty Trust of Hingham, Mass., applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to sections 240-3C and 240-68D of the Code of Falmouth to raise and reconstruct a two-story, four-bedroom, pre-existing, non-conforming, single-family dwelling on a 34,200 square foot residential B-zone lot located
Thank
at
you.
42 Brainerd Road, North Falmouth, Mass.
Welcome back, Mark. So the five of us that are here will be the voting members. Good evening, Tim. Welcome.
Good evening. For the record, Tim Santos from Holmes and McGrath, representing the applicant. Also with me this evening is Greg Jones, the architect for the project. The property is located at 42 Brainerd Road in North Falmouth. There's a pre-existing non-conforming structure on the property. It's an existing single-family home. The new owner would like to tear down the existing house and construct a new one. The non-conformity is the setback from the structure to the waters of Buzzards Bay. Currently, the existing structure is 20 feet back from the 4-foot contour. The proposed structure will be no closer. It'll be set back 20 feet on the eastern side of the house and 30 feet on the western side of the house. The current zoning bylaw requires all principal structures to be set back 50 feet. This is the nonconformity on this lot. The lot coverage currently exists at 11.1% for structures. It'll be slightly increased to 11.7. Total lot coverage for structures, paving, and parking is 12.3, and it's going up to 14.5. It's served by town utilities, town water. It's also serviced by an existing denitrification system, which has been in since 2008 from the previous homeowner. It's an existing 4-bedroom home, and will remain as a 4-bedroom home. Project has been before Conservation. Conservation has issued an order of conditions on it. If the board has any questions, either myself or Greg would be more than happy to address them.
Thanks, Tim. I'm going to ask the clerk just to review the comments from other departments and review any correspondence.
Engineering, no comment. Water, no comment. Natural resources, request for a special permit pursuant to 243C and 246A to raise and reconstruct a single.
That's
fam-
ours.
Pardon me?
That's ours, that's not their answer. That's our description. I don't believe you
Okay, so
stated
there's
anything.
no comment with that. Planning, no comment. No correspondence on the other side.
Then, questions for Tim?
Tim, how you doing?
Excellent. Yourself?
Excellent. On my site visit,
Yes.
the first thing I noted was excessive groundwater. You had pools of water, groundwater already. How does this plan address that?
Currently, right now, there is no roof runoff containment. So right now, any water that's running off is just shedding right out onto the ground there. The new house will have a gutter system. The gutter systems will be tied into leaching trenches. The leaching trenches will be, the unsuitable soils will be dug out down to the sand, and that will help address the leaching or the drainage problems from the roof runoff itself.
So there's an impervious layer of some
Correct.
material that's holding that up.
That's holding that
The
water.
ground's not saturated.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
The other question I have is I see power running to the beach house. No plans to,
There is currently no plans to renovate or do anything to the beach house. I think all that's there right now is like a little spotlight or something on it. That's,
I didn't go up the
Yeah,
stairs, I
I
just knew
think
that
that's
there
all
was
there
power
is.
run to
Yeah.
it. That's good for now, Mr. Chairman, if I could reserve for later.
Absolutely. David?
Thank you, thank you.
Just while we're speaking about the beach cottage there, no cooking facilities gonna be in there
Nope.
at any time?
and I've supplied Sari with photos of the interior, so they should be in,
I know there isn't any
Package.
now, but
Yeah,
there's gonna
there's-
be any ever?
not that I know of, not currently proposed.
All right. I noticed two black, I think PVC, look like irrigation line, but heading to that, is that?
I'm not sure. There might have been lines coming to out where the pier is for power and water to the pier. Is it,
From the beach, I'm strictly talking that beach cottage, yeah?
then that must have been irrigation lines that they might have hit when they recently installed the pier.
All right. Any other plans for any structures on the property?
No, there is not.
Let me see, so I can get the D9. You mind if I speak to the architect now?
Greg Jones, Weiss Jones Architects.
How you doing, Greg?
Good.
Basement usage?
There's an entrance, a stair, an elevator, and garage. And it's boat, incidental boat storage.
Just storage down
Just
there, that
storage.
type of thing?
Yep.
Elevation changes, existing now to the proposed, what's,
We're below the 35-foot height limit. I've got on, I think, the elevations, what our height is. I'm unsure of the current ridge of the existing house. We're probably a little higher
I think you were
than that.
talking about elevation of the property, not the roof.
Oh, not the structure. The current elevation is what, 6.5, and we don't propose any changes to that?
And then go ahead and answer the roof
Yeah,
now.
our top of ridge is below the 35-foot limit. The current house, I think, is a little lower than that. I don't know the number to the top of the current house ridge. But it's a 2.5-story house, similar to ours.
4-bedroom, that's not gonna change?
Correct.
And just one quick one, the stone driveway, that's gonna remain the same?
Correct. It'll
Stone.
be a stone driveway.
No pavement?
No pavement.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Mark?
Actually, the effectiveness of those trenches for the roof runoff, pretty effective.
Correct.
Yeah, so everything else got asked, so. I'm
Thank
good.
you. Patty?
The only nonconformity is
The only nonconformity is the
Is the
set.
50 foot.
Yep, correct, setback to the water.
and this, it looks like the house might be moved a little bit off of the point, right? It's
Yeah,
a little bit back.
The actual foundation currently right now is set back. 20 feet is the closest point. The new foundation is set back further, but when we're here looking at nonconformities, we're looking at the closest point of the structure, so the closest point will still remain. It'll be a deck now at 20 feet versus a foundation. But yes, correct, the actual house itself, the foundation has been shifted back.
And what is that other septic system? That's
It's
just a tank?
The-
Tight tank?
the raised,
No, not the rock.
not the rock.
The other one,
That's a pump chamber.
it's a pump chamber.
Yeah,
to
basically the
rock.
effluent flows from the house to the pump chamber and it has to pump it up in order for the separation to groundwater.
So all those dials on the wall there of the
Correct.
house are for the rock?
Correct.
Those are my only questions.
Okay. David?
Okay, so ask you one more question.
Sure.
I noticed coming from the house to the dock, there was gray conduit there. What's that, power?
That's power to the
Is that gonna
dock.
go under the ground?
That-
the next
that-
go-around?
It will once the entire site gets done.
All right, thank you.
Tim, there was no referral from the Conservation Commission, but there has been an order of conditions?
There is an order of conditions that I did forward
It's in
to,
the
sorry.
file.
Right. No, there was no referral mentioned. I just wanted to make sure, for the record, that we know that there was order of conditions from Conservation.
Yeah.
And I have no other questions either. I think it's been all asked well and well presented. Thank you. Suri, any questions?
Do you know, could you tell me, by looking at the plan so I can get it into the record, the old foundation was 20 feet where the deck is now. What is the
I just need to move
distance
this for
from
a
the
second.
foundation proposed, please?
.33 feet at the closest point.
Thank you.
Anything else from the board? Okay. Is there anyone here that's in opposition to this application? Questions?
Statements for your consideration.
Yep. let me see, before you get there, anyone in opposition? Anyone specifically in favor? Okay, come on up and introduce yourself if you would, let us know where you live.
My name is Scott Tynell. I live at 163 Bay Road. I live across Rand's Canal from the proposed structure. Just a couple of my observations that I'd like to bring up for your consideration. The quote-unquote beach house used to be a tool shed until Hurricane Bob moved it from one side of the property to the other. When it got put up on pilings after Bob, somehow it was glorified. I'll leave that at that. The drainage, which has been mentioned about the puddling at the property, doesn't need to be raining. If you come down there anytime you see a good combination of a southwest wind and a mood tide, you're going to have puddling from just the salt water coming up. I had hoped to take pictures during the blizzard storm that we had because my side of the road went underwater and the half of my driveway went under. I've seen in the past with a good winter storm that peninsula basically flood across with the house just on a small island of land. So you don't need the rain for the puddling. The front steps during Bob were, along with the wood pile, were taken off of that house and deposited over on our side. Those points I just want you guys to realize when you're talking about, drains and stuff. That's not going to do anything with the elevation and with we get a bottling effect in that when you get a good southwest wind, you get water that gets pushed up into Narragansett Harbor. And we're prone to the flooding there if it's a strong southwesterly. That property's pretty low and it's marshy.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Question.
Of this man, gentleman?
Yeah.
Excuse me, the
sorry.
question from...
Being in the butter or a neighbor, do you think that those conditions will become more adverse by this project?
It was, and I don't know that it was founded on fact. My understanding was at some time that if the whole structure, there were a number of problems that were created when the addition was put onto that house after Hurricane Bob. We had thought at some point there was conditions that if the house was ever raised, that it was going to have to go back to the original footprint of the old A-frame that was on that property, which was less than half the size of the current structure. So that being said, finding out now that the house is getting even bigger and more, I mean, it's just more on less, and that house had problems. I grew up there. I've been there for 49 years. That house has always had issues, and I can't see that they're getting any better as the house gets bigger. So
if you had to identify your major concern with this project, what would it be?
well, I know that when I put a dock out there was impact on wetlands. They were talking about, how it impacted just the whole, all the wetlands involved there. You have, the shellfish, you have the grasses. Everything I've done has always been under a magnifying glass. If you're increasing the structure size and you're changing the topography and the soils and all the other things, you're changing the wetlands. That whole house is in a wetlands. That's my opinion.
Thank you.
And just one quick comment on that. Wetlands are not our jurisdiction. The Conservation Commission has done an order of conditions. They're the ones that are out to protect the wetlands, and we're not involved with the dock or anything else, so. Yeah.
However, things are
Good
getting
observation.
bigger and affecting and impacting more. That's so my concern is
Okay,
more is more of an impact.
okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Follow-up questions, Tim, if I can.
Before you quit, she wants to ask him.
Sorry, I apologize.
I just
I'm
wanted
sorry.
to ask him did you attend the Conservation Commission meetings?
No, I didn't get a notification. I got a notification for the closed meeting, but I didn't seem to get one for the one that was open to the public.
The only one that you will get is the one open to the public, and you didn't receive any notice?
I got the last notice that when I talked to Conservation was closed to the public comment.
Okay. And are you aware of the zoning bylaws, what is allowed to happen on subject property?
I am not clear, no, that's not my bailiwick. I'm just here to voice an opinion where I am still able to.
I'm just curious as to why you stated you were told, I believe is what you said, that this house will never get any larger and now it's getting increased. Who specifically told you it had to be
Like I
built
said,
on its
years ago, I thought there
foundation?
were a number of orders of conditions that when the house was enlarged, that there were things that were not done according to the code. Up until just a few years ago, there was still not a closed building permit, my understanding was, on the addition that was put on. So there were a number of, from the roof line to, I don't know, there were a number of different things that, like I said, my understanding was at some point that they had said that if the house was ever to be raised, that it was going to have to go back to the original footprint.
Okay, I guess I just don't understand who "they" is, and the
Yeah,
zoning
Bob was-
bylaws does allow expansion as long as they don't go over a certain percentage, as long as they don't become more non-conforming. There's different things. I could certainly help you with that if you want to contact me, and I'll explain that to you at a later date.
Can I just try to get the answer to the question you asked, though? Who are they? Are you referring to conservation?
I thought it was through engineering, or, Hurricane Bob was, what, 80s?
81.
81, it's been a
No,
while,
Bob.
and I don't remember where.
91.
Bob was
91.
91.
All right, so 25 years.
And you are aware you were privy to this whole file from the beginning, so.
We
I understand.
we appreciate the comments.
No.
And you're coming out.
Just
It's-
helps us to understand
Right.
who, and how we need to further, explain and,
Or refine
Or
the
refine.
information receipts.
right.
Yeah. It's also, it's hard to believe when you say the building permit was never closed out, that would mean that there was never an occupancy permit.
Well, the occupancy permit, was my understanding, had not been, what's the term, closed, filed?
Had not been
permitted,
issued.
Issued until not too many years ago.
And that, believe it or not, that's not uncommon, because people get their final sign-off and they never go back to get their occupancy, thinking that it's legal. We run into that all the time. That does happen quite a bit,
Any other
unfortunately.
questions for this gentleman? All right, thank you. Just a couple of follow-up questions, Tim, and I neglected to ask one earlier. If I remember correctly, this is an A12 flood zone?
It is an A12 elevation 14.
All right, so any special requirements in this zone?
The finished floor will be at elevation 15.
Okay,
It'll require flood zone construction. Flood vents will be installed within the foundation to allow the waters to recede,
Yep.
to move in and out of the structure
Right.
itself in the event of a flood or a hurricane or
Right.
a large storm.
none of which exists right now.
Correct.
Okay. And in terms of, I know that the coverage is going up from 11.1 to 11.7. Can you translate
It's
that
about
for us?
200 square feet.
200 square feet, okay, thank you. Geez, you're anticipating my questions now. Okay. All right. Any other follow-up questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other comments on this application? Okay, what's the board want to do? Discuss, close, move on?
Make a motion to close.
Second.
Okay, so you've got enough information to make your decision. All right, we have a motion by Mr. Haddad, seconded by Mr. Zelinski to close this hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think it was the other way
It was
around.
the other way
Passes.
around, Scott and then
Alright.
David.
All right,
We're paying.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Okay, what action would you like to take,
No,
Scott?
we're going to discuss.
You just voted not to discuss
Oh,
it.
okay.
Well, I mean, you'll have a chance to add in your,
After the second motion.
so after the second motion, we'll all participate in crafting a good decision.
I'll make a motion to approve application 58-13
Okay,
as,
well, let's
plans.
get a second,
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay?
I'll second.
All right, so Scott and Mark. Okay, let's, go ahead,
Plan submitted,
per plan submitted.
not to increase use of beach house,
So I think what you want to say is no kitchen.
No cooking
uh,
facilities.
no kitchen.
No cooking facilities,
No
and
expansion.
expansion will become, or to become a dwelling.
Correct.
Okay. Keep going. Do you want to incorporate the Conservation Commission?
In conjunction with the order of conditions.
So do you want to incorporate the order of conditions? Okay.
No changes to the bedroom.
Maximum of 4 bedrooms on the property.
Did we determine the height of the house?
Well, per plan submitted, it was under the 35 feet.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any more.
Okay. Anyone else have any additional conditions? David? 3, any? Okay. Findings?
Finding that it's not less detrimental, it's less detrimental than what exists now.
There's been an improvement to the site.
Right.
Yeah, in
And
fact,
nonconformity.
specifically, I think there's an improvement to the drainage.
Yep.
There's also an
Flood zone
improvement
protection.
to the structure itself by virtue of the new building code and the requirements of the A12 flood zone.
The drainage that's
Yeah, I
proposed.
mentioned that.
Yep.
Okay. Certainly in keeping with the neighborhood, not substantially more detrimental or typical to
Suitable for the site.
216 conditions or findings. Anything else? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous vote. Good luck on that, gentlemen. Thank you for, is it weekend time already? I guess if you work for Holmes and McGrath, it's a weekend on Thursday. Okay. Our next application is 62-13. Did you give everything back?
I did.
Okay. And I will ask the clerk to read that into the record.
Patty, could you do me a big favor and just put those in here so I can read this? Please. All set, Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11, Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you are hereby notified that David Brunel of West Falmouth, Mass. applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to Sections 240-160A of the Code of Falmouth to allow the seasonal summer parking of 10 vehicles on subject property zone Residential B located at 49 Old Shore Road, West Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Attorney John Lamberti, and I represent the Mr. Brunel.
Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Thank you. I am, by the way, a seasonal resident of Falmouth and have been since 1975, so I'm fairly familiar with the town.
Okay.
This is a petition where Mr. Brunel is seeking to use his residence and to park up to 10 vehicles in there for which he would be charging a fee. As you probably know, this property is very close to, probably within a quarter of a mile of the parking area at Old Silver Beach. It's located just a little ways down, maybe 100 feet or so from the stop sign at the intersection of Quaker Road and Old Shore Road. To the left is one is going south. From that property itself, you'll find, if you've seen it, and I have some photographs which I can give to the board, is along the property lines is rather enclosed by some very heavy foliage, trees, and very thick bushes, so that it's rather difficult to see houses on either side because of this foliage. My client has submitted a plan. I don't know if the board has plans in front of you you're familiar with, showing the designation of the parking spots, showing all of the lot lines and so forth. It shows the entrance to Old Shore Road. You'll see from the plan that there's sufficient area there in what I'll call a driveway or open space so that cars can pull in, going in a forward direction onto the property, and then backing out and going out of the property, again going forward. There should be no reason why any car would try to go out backwards. When exiting that property, when coming into the property, because of the road there, certainly from Old Shore Road, it's of straight sight lines, so nothing interfering. As a matter of fact, my client recently cleared some of the brush that was in front so that when one is exiting from that property, they could look to the left down Old Shore Road and have a very clear view for some distance to do that. To the right, they have a clear view to the stop sign at the intersection, at that fork in the road, and then they would continue further on. What really got my client, by the way, is a 73-year-old retired engineer and businessman, and his wife, Deborah, is a real estate person here in Falmouth. She typically is gone on the weekends, and this is really when most of this activity would take place. Most of it would take place then because that's the time that basically, except for maybe a 4th of July period of time when the crowds really get heavy, most of this activity would take place on the weekends. They've been in the home since they've owned it since 1996. Over the last couple of years, they've done some major renovations in the house. One of the things that got him interested in doing this, and the idea came to it, was that, as you know, the Old Silver Beach area on these weekends in the summertime, it's a very, very popular area. There's a good deal of, I'll call it traffic congestion, for lack of a better word. There's usually police presence there directing cars. There's actually a turnoff lane right on Quaker Road so that cars usually are backed up in a space waiting for cars to come out of that parking lot so they can get in. What happens on weekends, typically where the weather is good, is that cars come in. A lot of these people are out of towners, and the lot we're talking about here is not the residence lot, which is a little further down the road. But cars would come in and try to even get into that waiting lane, and they can't do it. So they start what I'll call loitering in the area. The police are constantly directing them around. As a result of this, over the years, my client, while walking dogs, while just out in the neighborhood, and even while sitting on his deck, people have driven up to him and asked, "Where can I park? I've been driving around here for a while. I need a place to park." Just the other day, as a matter of fact, somebody came up to them on the deck and asked if they could park in their driveway, in their space. Of course, they said no. So this is the condition that exists. The beach is very, very popular. It's an area, I believe, that you'll find gets very congested, particularly in the mornings when people are coming in and when these lots fill up. So my client, seeing that, said, "Hey, you know, I could let people come in here. I could do that without any signs. I could do that without any advertising. All I really have to do is sit there, and people will come, because that's how bad things are." So we believe, one, as far as any traffic and any hazard or any nuisance or whatever that my client would be creating, that's absolutely zero. As a matter of fact, it's quite the contrary. My client is really going to help alleviate some of these problems of loitering cars pulling over to the sides to wait so they can hopefully get into line and get into a lot. So that is what started my client that way. As I said, he is not, nor would he look for any signage or anything like that. He probably would sit out close to his driveway with his dog reading a book in a fold-up chair, and that's how people would come in. Or I would guess after a period of time that would happen with just word of mouth. People would know that he is there. As I said earlier, whether you go in any direction on Old Shore Road or even on Quaker Road, the sight lines are fine as far as my client's property is concerned. As far as ingress and egress from that property, there should be no problems whatsoever. I believe you'll find that the plan itself shows that 10 spaces would be adequate. And as I said before, because of the foliage and so forth, and the fact that cars coming in, this is not a situation, as you know, where, let me say this was a Fenway Park where a game starts at 1 o'clock and you have a rush of people coming in. What's really going to happen here is cars are going to dribble in maybe every 5 or 10 minutes for a period of time, and until most people give up and that would be about it. So it's not as if any cars would be lined up in any fashion on any of the roads in that area to get into this particular area. It's just going to happen onesie, twosie kind of thing. There are a couple of precedents with regard to this petition that I'd like to call your attention to. One is that further down the road, on Quaker Road, basically across the street from the resident parking lot, the board has granted for 4 continuous seasons, 4 continuous years, a special permit to a Kenneth R. Dulgarian. That was last issued on March 12, 2013. And it was a similar situation that was for 7 cars. As a matter of fact, if one were to look at the site, you'd notice that across the street is this area for the parking of resident cars. You'll see that there are lines painted out in the street where people do wait. That causes actually that road on Quaker Road to be somewhat constricted, certainly much more. My client's, the open area of my client's property and approaching it is much more open. The other thing is on this Dulgarian property, if you were on the property and you wanted to go left, there's a curve.
Mr. Lombardi, I'll cut you off there. First of all, we don't establish precedents by other cases.
All right.
It's every case by case, and we're not here to talk about the Dulgarian special permit.
All
We're
right.
here to talk about
All
this application 6213.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll leave that and just go to one other thing. I think, as I mentioned earlier, I believe that what's actually happening here is by doing this, this is really beneficial to the town. It's not a detriment to anyone. It's really beneficial to the town. And in that regard, I found an article on June 12, 2013, that was with regard to Marshfield and a situation they had in Marshfield with regard to the Marshfield affair. And this is where the town actually went, the fire chief, the police actually went to the town and said, we should allow local residents to park cars on their property so that we can alleviate problems that we have in that area with parking during these special events and so forth that took place at the Marshfield Fair. And as a matter of fact, in quoting the safety officer, Kevin Feely, said the policy would be helpful to him to keep traffic running smoothly throughout the neighborhood. He described times in the past he's asked residents to allow cars to park on their property. He said, not only do we want to keep traffic moving, but we want to keep the streets open for the fire department on South Street. I believe this would be beneficial in the same fashion as it is to Marshfield. I do have photographs if you would like to see them.
Sure, if you want to give them to the file, I'll just take them right here from you, okay? Thank you very much.
I believe they're self-explanatory.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
Okay, we're going to ask the clerk to review the referrals from town departments and review any correspondence that might be on the file.
This is engineering. This application was reviewed only for impacts to public right-of-ways, public utilities. Old Shore Road is a public right-of-way in this area. No alterations are proposed to the right-of-way. Any changes within the right-of-way would require filing a permit with the engineering division. Any connections or alterations to public utilities would require permission from the appropriate town department. The intersection of Old Shore Road, Quaker Road, and CEA Road, all public, is already less than ideal for safe traffic flow. Making a left onto Quaker Road from Old Shore Road is difficult at best, with limited sight distance and the awkward angle of the intersection. Turning onto Old Shore Road from Quaker Road is difficult as well. We recommend that careful consideration should be made for any use that would increase traffic on the side roads, CEA or Old Main. We have concerns about the potential for a line of cars backing up on Old Shore Road into Quaker Road or blocking CEA Road there is only approximately 100 feet to the intersection. The driveway leading to the proposed parking spaces appears to be wide enough for one vehicle at a time. We would like to point out that the nearest sidewalk is on the northerly side of CEA Road, approximately 150 feet away. Pedestrian safety should be considered. An attorney may need to be consulted regarding the use of the existing gravel driveway to access the proposed parking spaces, and whether this would burden the existing easement benefiting 14 Myers Road to the rear of 49 Old Shore Road. This easement is the only access to 14 Myers Road. It also appears that some of the driveway is located on 53 Old Shore Road. Investigation into whether there is an easement encroachment and any potential burdens is also recommended. No further comments? Planning? No comment. Natural resources? No comment. Water, no comment. Building, no comment. And, Mr. Chairman, there are 2 letters of opposition, 0 in support in the file.
Okay, very good. We're going to, Mr. Lamberti, start with some questions from board members, all right?
Okay.
Mark, do you want to start first?
Sure.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. You brought up as an example the one down the street, the permitted temporary parking down the street. Do you believe there's a distinction between they have separate ingress and egress, whereas this proposed project doesn't?
I think that the fact that it has an egress, the egress is on the other side of the house. It's probably 75, 100 feet from where the ingress, what you mean by the ingress. And that would be to the north, in my view. In other words, one would come in, from the south part of that property and go out through the north. I believe that going out through the north probably would be a good thing because...
Excuse me, can I interrupt? I'm totally confused right now because I'm not focusing on the Delgarian property, and I don't think we can, and I apologize. When you're saying, I'm looking at a plan right here, and you're saying north and south, and I'm totally confused, so...
Can I rephrase my question?
That'd be great, but, thank you.
Would you agree, or could you comment? Is there only one way in and out of this property site in comparison to what the example that you used?
Correct. Only one way in and one way out.
And one way out. Okay, thank you. My second question would be, on my sight line, or on my site visit, the concerning aspect would, for me, would be, and you had mentioned that when you are exiting the driveway and you're stopped before entering Old Shore, that hedge line is right up against the road. And I was wondering, is there any intention to doing any sort of cutback on that?
That's been removed. Is that, no?
No, excuse me. If you're going to speak, you're going to have to come up, get recognized by me, and introduce yourself and answer.
David Brunel, 49 Old Shore Road.
Thank you.
The hedge you're talking about is not on our property, so I really can't do much about that.
Okay.
But we live there. We always come out.
Want to just stick with the answer? Thanks.
Again, on my site visit, and per your plan, my opinion would be that between parking area space number 1 and the outermost edge of the driveway, 16 feet, to me that's a bottleneck. And would it allow 16 feet? Would it allow 2 cars to pass?
All I can tell you is that people, they basically come in to the property within an hour. The 10 cars are there. they leave at all different times, so they just back out and leave.
My concern, though, is the person that lives at, what is it, 14 Myers property. I just want,
Oh, I wanted to correct you on that. They have their own exit on Myers Road. They are using our driveway, because they have been for years, but they do have alternate route. They have, in fact, they put up a gate there so that they could come and go.
all right. But my primary question was,
Okay.
16 feet, would that allow bi-directional
Well,
traffic flow?
We haven't had any problem with, when we've had guests, parking there, so that's the only thing I can say about
That's all
that.
my questions for now.
Thanks, Mark. Patty?
Is the easement that has been used by 14 Myers Road a recorded easement?
Yes.
Is it your opinion that parking for 10 cars and using that easement is overburdening the easement?
I'm sorry, what was the second part of
Is
it?
parking cars for pay on your property and
Yeah.
using the easement overburdening the easement? In
No.
other words,
No, we have to use that easement, it's our driveway.
well, I know,
And they have an easement. We have to back into that easement just
but how
to leave for
about
our
having
own.
10 more cars back onto that
Well, I'm
easement?
always there, I mean, it isn't like they come in and park and there's no one there to help them. The people in the back come about 2 weeks a summer, so I really haven't seen, that's never been a problem.
Okay, those are my questions.
Scott?
Mr. Brunel, could you explain the circumstances of how the easement came about? Was that a sale, or was it, how did it
We
happen?
bought the property in 1996, and it was there. John?
It goes back many, many years, apparently was a cot road of some kind.
I just want,
Oh, what?
no. This will become a circus and we'll be here all night. That's why there's a chairman, among other things.
Thank you.
Originally a cot.
You're going to have to use the microphone because we're on television. Thank you.
It was originally a cot road of some kind. It shows on some old deeds or plans that were recorded. And then the properties, the bigger parcels of land started to get chopped up into smaller parcels, and somewhere along the line, when these two properties in the back that presently have the easement, utilize that easement, it was spelled out in the deeds of the property. So it is an encumbrance on my client's property to the benefit of the two lots behind them. As he said, this is one of the lots where, well, both of those lots now have access to Myers Road, which they didn't have when the easement was originally drawn. So it's not as if the easement is something where you've got a big passage of cars back and forth. It's not that at all.
In your opinion, is it a legal easement?
Yes.
Oh, yes. It's a legal easement, and it shows on my client's deed as an encumbrance to that property.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, David?
When I was out there, and also in the photos you provided, there was, 3 or 4 vehicles in the driveway, so how many is there without having beachgoers parking there?
Well, they have two vehicles. They each have a vehicle. One vehicle, they have a garage. One vehicle would be garaged. And as I mentioned earlier, Mrs. Brunel in the real estate business is typically gone on the weekends. It's when the busiest time for her is, so she'd be gone most of the time when any vehicles would be coming into the property. So we'd have possibly one vehicle out, but if there were 10 coming in, I'm sure you'd just pull his car into the garage and that would be it.
So she has a vehicle, he has a vehicle, so the 3 vehicles that I saw in the photos and the 4 that I observed during my site visit, what were those, beachgoers?
One of them was mine. I took the pictures.
No. continue?
The red vehicle in the photos is mine. One of the vehicles was Mr. Brunel's, and another one was a guest that had stayed overnight that left about the time that I did.
Before I continue, can I make a motion to go till 10 if need be?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Make a motion to go till 10?
Is there a second? All right. Motion for us to continue our hearings until 10 PM. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Before you go on, ma'am, you wanted to contribute to that answer. If you'd come up kindly and introduce yourself, then we can make sure that it's on the record.
Sure. I'm Debbie Brunel, 49 Old Shore Road. I just wanted to tell you that since we're not offering parking to strangers, we had company. And we often have company in the summer, just like you do, because we live across the street from Old Silver Road. So those people that you saw in the driveway were simply, besides John and my husband's car, probably our daughter or one of our friends. Okay?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Go ahead, David.
I know you mentioned Mr. Brunel's going to be sitting on his deck in a fold-up chair. Is that the only way to stop if the lot is full or the parking's full, for him to stop people from lining up there waiting to come in?
He probably would be somewhere out close towards the street in a chair. That's my guess. If it got full, yes, but, I think what it would be, I'll call it, if there is any advertisement, it probably would be him sitting out by the road, by Old Shore Road. And somebody would notice him and come along and say, can I park here, or is there any place to park? And he'd say, yes, come in. Obviously, if the lot were full, he probably would be back at his house, and there wouldn't be people stopping for that reason. Because there's no signage or advertising going to be out there to attract them.
So the only way people will know to park there is just word of mouth type thing?
I would guess, it may not be very much in word of mouth. It's these people that are cruising the neighborhood looking for some place to park and asking anybody they come along to, where can I park? And I believe most of those probably are out-of-towners, so how much word of mouth there would be for out-of-towners, I don't think there'd be that much.
And do you know the speed limit on Quaker Road?
I'm not sure. I assume it's in the 25 mile per hour.
I believe it's 35, so
Okay.
you don't know what it is on Old Shore Road either?
No.
I don't know, but it's pretty small.
I don't know.
I know you said coming, south into that up Old Shore Road, you see an easy sight line. Going north down Quaker, turning up Old Shore Road, let's say you did know where that lot was, you don't see a problem with that?
Could I have that again?
Going towards Old Silver down Quaker,
Down Quaker.
so,
You really wouldn't see it. You'd be passing it fairly fast, and it is open. There's a little strip of island there. But I think you would go right by it, frankly.
maybe if I knew where it was, I wouldn't go by it, I want to park there.
Then you would have to make almost a U-turn.
And before, if you get up, can you just comment on what engineering said? They seem to think that it had some issues with safety. How do you address those?
I saw them talking about a sight line onto Old Shore Road, and I think the photos that I submitted belie that. If one were on, let's say, across the street on Quaker Road, and talking about coming along and staying on Quaker Road, yes, there's a curve there that goes along, and I think that anyone trying to do a similar thing on Quaker Road, there would be certainly sightline problems. But coming along, as you could see in some of those photos I submitted, you're coming along, going south, you come to the fork, you can see in both directions. And certainly anyone making a turn to go on to, a resident or whoever, making a turn to go on Old Shore Road, would naturally be watching for traffic coming along Quaker Road going north and before making the left-hand turn. But that turn is wide open, right from that stop sign, more than 100 feet down to the entrance to my client's property.
And just one other thing. I see the plan you submitted. I don't see anywhere on here where the septic is. Can you tell me where that might be?
Please, come on up. You don't have a plan to show that, why don't you pin it up? You can't do it here because we've all got to see it. And,
The septic, T-box is here, the drainage is here. It's nowhere near the cars, this is all,
Where's the tank? You got a tank there?
distribution boxes right here.
that's just the
You're gonna have to
distribution
have a
box. Is
tank
there a
before
tank?
that, in between that, the D-box and the house, there's gonna be a tank somewhere.
I haven't had to deal with that other than getting it, but it all runs in here. Nowhere near the, I mean, this parking's always been.
Okay. Anything else?
All right, no, that's it for now. Thank you.
Mr. Lamberti, the plan shows that it's currently has coverage of structures, pavement, and parking of 45.4%. Does that include the existing gravel driveway that is also the easement?
Yeah, that would include where the easement is, I
Okay.
assume. I remember the engineer questioning that when he did it. Actually, I don't know what the answer is to that. I don't know if it includes that.
Okay. Well, then it's hard for me to ask my next question, but I'll ask part of it. If only 40% was utilized for all of the coverage, including structures, pavement, and parking, how many spaces would you be able to have in there?
I have to go back to Warwick, the ones who did this.
Okay. All right. The next question then is, parking spaces 9 and 10, if they're full, how does one access the garage?
Well, if they're full, well, this, actually, these two cars are over here. There is room to get a car out of the garage.
I'm looking at spaces 9 and 10
Yeah,
on your
no,
plan.
No, these two here,
Yep.
they're pointed this way, but they're actually going to be right parallel with this line here. There is room to get in and out of the garage.
So this plan is not accurate?
Well, only those two cars are positioned differently, and they were just arbitrarily drawn in.
Okay. How are people going to find out about this parking lot?
Can I give you a little bit of history, because we've lived there for 17 years? What basically happens is, when those lots get full,
You have to use the microphone, okay?
when those lots get full, they open at 9, they're probably filled by 11. So between 11 and 12, people are coming down Quaker, turning on C Road, turning around, driving around, going up Quaker, coming back down Old Shore Road, looking for a place to park. There's no parking on any of those roads. I have people pulling in my driveway all the time, can we park here?
So people sort of follow where other cars might be going, or
They just see an open area, and they ask if they can park there.
So-
But it's constant. It isn't one or two cars.
So if
It's
somebody,
constant.
so if somebody pulls into Old Shore Road and there's no parking available, how will they know that, first of all? Will there be a full sign? Will you be waving
Oh, I
them
see what
on?
you're
What
saying.
will you be doing?
Well, I hadn't gotten that far, but it would very easily, I would probably just put my folding chair with a full sign on it.
Okay. So where do the cars go then after they pass by your driveway?
Well, they would go up Old Shore Road,
Yeah.
and where they go from there, probably looking for other parking lots.
And about how many cars drive by looking for parking at your place?
Well, many more than 10.
Many more than 10. And how many have you turned away?
Well, last year, we did it for one day, and we probably turned away at least, I don't know how many cars we had in there, but it was just constant, just constant.
So in many ways, it's going to be attracting a number of cars into that neighborhood then?
Well, they come into that neighborhood.
Okay.
I mean, they don't know me. They're coming in asking me because they've been driving around.
What are the hours of operation?
For this, it would be basically from like 11 to 1 o'clock.
Basically, or is that it?
Well, I mean, it would only take that amount of time to put 10 cars in there.
But that wouldn't be the hours of your operation, that's the hours of people coming in.
Okay.
How long?
They start leaving about 4, 5, 6 o'clock,
So you'll open your lot at 11 and you'll close it at what time?
probably 7.
Okay.
Well, close it,
Full
well, no, we
There's
we
still
would
parking.
close it once there's 10 cars in there.
No.
Okay.
My question was the operation of the lot. It'll open at 11
Yeah.
and it'll close when?
Well, no later than 7.
Okay, no later than 7. How many days a week?
Probably just on the weekends and an occasional holiday.
Okay. What I want to make sure is, I don't want to guess at this, so probably isn't going to cut it.
Okay.
It's what are your days of operation?
Saturday, Sunday, and 1 day during the week,
What day is that?
when it's hot out. I don't know. I don't know how to be more specific.
Well, if the board were inclined to grant you a permit, it's got to be specific.
Okay, well then, probably just the weekends then.
Just weekends, and you said holidays.
Weekends and holidays.
Okay. What's your season? You said seasonal vehicle parking. What is your season?
Basically, it's June, July, August, and part of September.
Okay. Here we go again. It's not
Okay.
basically. What's your season?
September 15th.
And the beginning date was?
I would say
June?
June 1st.
June 1st to September 15th, did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I had forgotten about those dates. Memorial Day would probably be the best starting date,
Okay.
and Labor Day, the closing date.
Okay. How long does typically a parker stay at your lot?
About 4 or 5 hours, 5 hours.
Okay. All right. I really don't care who answers it, but Mr. Lamberti, you had mentioned, and I saw it in the photos, what you're referring to as, well, what I would call a staging line, or what did you called it a backup lane, which I don't think you really meant that. In terms of people backing up in the lane, I think you probably meant that they were staging, waiting to go
Exactly,
in.
yeah.
What side of Quaker is that lane on? The east or the west?
There's that lane in the approaching, as one approaches from the north going south, the lane is on the right-hand side, just before the entrance to the non-resident parking lot.
All right, since we're not getting our east and west together very well.
All right, maybe
which
maybe
is
I'm
okay.
doing north and south
Is it
wrong.
across from the park beach, the town parking lot, or
No,
is it
no,
on the same side?
on the same side.
It's on the same side.
The water side.
Okay, so there is no staging lane on the side that your client's property is?
No.
Okay, and if the parking permit were granted, how does one get from your client's property to the beach?
They would walk along the sidewalk that would run basically from my client's property. They would continue up to the parking lot, to the non-resident parking lot, and there's a marked-out painted crosswalk right there where one enters that parking lot.
Can I just interrupt for a second? Was it Scott that wrote the referral from engineering? Did he say there was no sidewalk?
I believe it's like about 150 feet.
Yeah, there's
to the
a
actual
break in it
existing
before you get to it.
So
But
actually,
Cross
they'd have to
Street.
walk
A distance to get to it.
on the roadway before they got,
Actually, I walked it just the other day, and there's,
We would like to point out that the nearest sidewalk is on the northerly side of CEA Road, approximately 150 feet away. Pedestrian safety should be considered. And that is from Scott.
okay.
as I said, there isn't a sidewalk, but there's a...
I thought you said there was one.
There isn't a sidewalk within the distance from my client's property, that the entrance to his property, and the stop sign at the intersection where the two roads fork. That area there, though, there's on the side, a car could easily pull over and sit there and not be on Old Shore Road. So there's plenty of space for anyone to walk up there before they get into the area that does have the sidewalk.
How long is the Marshfield Fair?
Actually, what you'd find from the article, and I can give you the article, that the Marshfield Fair is only a short time, but they hold, and what they were talking about here is for all special events. They hold quite a number of special events, I understand, throughout probably the summer and maybe longer than that. But so they weren't talking about just one-time thing. They were talking about special events.
Okay. Valet parking? Or is it park on your own?
Where's that?
Your project.
Oh, this would be, answer that, Dave.
Because I'm there, I guide them into a particular spot.
Okay. And obviously, because it's gravel, there are no marked spaces?
No, but it is broken up so that there's 4 cars here, 2 cars there, that sort of thing.
Well, actually, I was in your yard,
Yeah.
and I didn't see that.
Well,
But-
I'm
but
talking
that's all
about the
right.
railroad ties.
I would have to have driven over the railroad ties
Yeah,
to get
but
to
it's-
parking spaces 1 and 2.
1 and 2, well, 1 and 2. But the railroad ties only stick up maybe an inch over the,
Oh, no, but,
that's true.
okay. Okay. Any other questions at this point? Suri, any? Yeah, Scott,
For the
go right
attorney.
ahead. Mr. Liberty?
In that article about the Marshfield Fair, does it say anything about sidewalks or lack of?
No, there's no mention of sidewalks.
Thank you.
While you're there, just one other thing, I apologize. You've had a chance to review the referral from the engineering department?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, you heard it read.
Yes.
They're saying it's a safety issue. Have you, what are the plans that how are you addressing the safety issue, or is it just your feeling that there isn't one?
What's that? You want to answer?
I don't care who answers it, but we need to move on.
There are many people that walk down Old Shore Road, and there's no sidewalks on that. It's constant. On a warm day, going to the beach, it's constant. There's never been an issue of safety because the people walk over on the side, and cars are able to pass freely.
So you disagree with our engineering department?
Well, could you read that portion of it again?
Absolutely. By the way, please compliment Scott, it was a very thorough referral.
You want to go from?
Just go through the whole thing, why don't you?
Okay. The intersection of Old Shore Road, Quaker Road, and CEA Road, all public, is already less than ideal for safe traffic flow. Making a left onto Quaker Road from Old Shore Road is difficult at best with limited sight distance and the awkward angle of the intersecting turning onto Old Shore Road from Quaker Road is difficult as well. We recommend that careful consideration should be made for any use that would increase traffic on the side roads, CEA or Old Main. We have concerns about the potential for a line of cars backing up on Old Shore Road and into Quaker Road or blocking CEA Road. There is only approximately 100 feet to the intersection. The driveway leading to the proposed parking spaces appears to be wide enough for one vehicle at a time. We would like to point out that the nearest sidewalk is on the northerly side of CEA Road, approximately 150 feet away. Pedestrian safety should be considered. An attorney may need to be consulted regarding the use of the existing gravel driveway to access proposed parking spaces and whether this would burden the existing easement benefiting 14 Myers Road to the rear of 49 Old Shore Road. This easement is only access to 14 Myers Road. It also appears that some of this drive is located on 53 Old Shore Road. Investigation into whether there is an easement encroachment and any potential burdens is also recommended.
Okay. Well, as far as the safety part of it, most cars leave the parking lot areas because they can't get in. They come down and they turn into C Road. That's what they do. They go, there's a line of cars turning in, backing up, and trying to find other places to go. No one would come down Old Shore Road, heading north, and try to make that hairpin turn onto Quaker. You can't do it. You can't turn there.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask one question?
You may.
Mr. Brunel, if there was a sign out in front of your house that said no parking,
Yeah.
would they just drive by?
Well, I don't know if it said no parking, I mean,
If they would say absolutely no parking for pay, or however it was, the terminology was, do you think they would stop, or they would just drive by?
they would drive by and try to look for a place to park on the road, which is illegal.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay. By the way, although there's been a lot of comment about the easement, we're not going to make a determination for anyone in terms of the burden of an easement. We're not your lawyers. That's a civil matter, but we will take into consideration whether or not there's an impact on the lot itself and surrounding areas. All right, those that are opposed, public. The gentleman that's been freezing all night. Go right ahead in black. No, why don't you go ahead?
You want me to go?
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Arthur Titus, 45 Old Shore Road. I'm the neighbor that all the cars come to after his lot is full. And it's a nuisance to me because we just keep on telling him we don't park cars here. It's private property. Old Shore Road is a towaway zone. That's why they don't park on Old Shore Road. It didn't used to be that way 34 years ago when I first bought the house. And I could tell you stories, but we don't have enough time. As far as this petition is concerned, first of all, I wanted to correct a couple of inaccuracies. It's true he may have bought the house in 1996 or 97, but he actually moved in 2 or 3 years ago. He was renting the house for that period of time. Last spring, I noticed visually his landscaper cutting my neighbor's hedges with a chainsaw.
Okay, I'm not sure that's really going to be relevant.
It
Mr.
will,
Titus.
it will, if you permit me to get to it, sir, because the These were beautiful hedges, 10 or 12 feet tall, that
I'm
have been
sure
there
I'm
longer
sure
than
they
I
were
have.
fabulous. What does it have to do with the parking, sir?
Well, what he did was he cut the hedges back to widen the easement area, and he would park the cars along those hedges, right up against those hedges on the easement property. And on my neighbor's side. And with all those cars parked there, the people who live behind him, in case of a medical or any other kind of an emergency, I can't see how a fire truck or an ambulance can get through there when it could be a question of minutes, life and death. You never know what could happen. As far as the how it's affected me, it has. As soon as people see cars parked on a property, his house is kind of set back a little bit. I'm right up close to the road. Over the 34 years, from time to time, people have stopped and wanted to park their cars and pay me money to park their cars on my property. And I, of course, would tell them, I'm sorry, no thank you, we don't park cars. Last year was absolutely the worst year to my memory because he was parking cars last year. And it wasn't just one time. He was parking cars last year, and it wasn't one time.
Okay, yeah, again,
And,
Mr. Titus.
well, the cars would come up to my
Mr. Titus, with all
house.
due respect,
Yes, sir.
we're not terribly interested in what happened last year or 10 years ago. We have a plan right now for parking for a fee. If you'd comment on that, there's no value to the two of you getting into this.
Is there any value in the fact that he wanting to do what he wants to do
No.
is going to
No.
cause a nuisance to me?
Yes, nuisance maybe, but him doing what he wants to do, that's why he's here,
I see.
asking for a permit,
Okay,
okay?
well, then I'll address the fact that it's causing a nuisance to me.
Okay.
Because I have to turn multiple people away. It gets to the point where I can't even sit on my deck in the morning. I have to wait till like maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, I want to thank you for your time and appreciate it.
Once again, we
Next
appreciate you
question.
coming here, but there's a couple of questions.
Yes,
Mr. Titus,
yes, sir.
have you observed cars lined up around before his property or after, just looking to get in there?
They're lined up in front of my house.
So lined up and down?
Yes.
From your house down to Quaker?
Yes,
All right, thank you.
Just to follow up, because of parking at the beach, or?
No.
Okay, so they're lined up waiting to get into Mr. Brunel's property?
yep.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? All right, sir, thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm sorry if I
Don't. We're just trying to weed out the things that are
understand.
real relevant, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, sir, now's your time.
Thank you.
My name is Dave Sussman. I am a summer resident at 53 Old Shore Road. And believe it or
I'm
not,
sorry, I didn't catch the address.
53 Old Shore Road.
Thank you.
Okay, I am the adjacent who has the easement along with Mr. Burnell.
Okay.
Okay? Now, believe it or not, I'm the one, this was my grandmother's home. This dates back to 1972. So if anybody's interested, I could pass a little bit of light on that easement. I know you guys don't care about it. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And I can fill you in. I've
It's
been
not that we
there.
don't care about it. What I said was that we're not going to pass judgment
Okay.
as to whether or not it's a burden on the easement.
Well, first off, parking along that easement is going to create chaos, havoc, security issues. People who are going to park down that easement are going to come walk across my house or walk through those hedges. And where Mr. Titus was stating, along with your engineer, and if I may ask a question, when was that engineer's report given? When did he go to that site and take pictures and write that?
Within 35 days, let's say.
Okay. those 35 days. What he said there is exactly right. But what Mr. Titus was alluding to in regards to that easement is, that easement where is not a driveway, that's an easement. That's a right of passage to their driveway. And it's a right of passage to the Myers, which are in the back, okay, or Myers Road, where Redkin was, okay? Now, right now, that property is closed off. There's a gate there. Whether he unlocks it daily, unlocks it weekly, I don't know. But all there is one access in, one access out, which creates a fire hazard and a medical issue, okay? One exit in, one exit out. On a busy day, on a busy holiday, how are people getting in and out of that area? Impossible, okay? And going back to what Arthur was saying is, what happened last year when they were doing the renovations on their home, they decided to rip almost 3.5, 4 feet of width of those hedges, which give the privacy that this attorney was alluding to. It's the privacy on my house. After ripping down those hedges widthwise, now you removed and tried to create site passage coming out of that easement looking up towards Old Silver Beach.
Can I just ask you a quick question? The trees that were removed on your property?
My property.
It was on your property?
Correct.
It's a civil matter, quite frankly.
That I know, but I'm just alluding to the site, because he said it was a public and safety issue with site going up to the beach. That's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. I'm not saying anything, I realize that, but it's a site issue.
Can I make a
Okay,
motion
and
to
that's what
pass
it
time?
creates. Because you cannot pull out of that, easement and see up Quaker Road, and when you pull out of that easement, it's very difficult watching traffic come down Quaker Road. I pull out of my driveway, which is 53 Old Shore Road, and have difficulty seeing, okay? And I have clear passage because I'm beyond the hedges. They do not go beyond the hedges. The hedges impede vision, okay? On a busy day, yes. I don't know if anybody here, and I'm sure that engineer has never seen the traffic that comes through that area on any given moment, any given Saturday, Sunday, and when the holidays, there are numerous, copious amounts of cars coming down that road. You know what? It's become a busy, beautiful beach. It's a beautiful area, it's a beautiful community, and you know what? If we allow parking in that area, we're only decaying our own community. We're allowing people, we're allowing the public, and we're allowing any element to come into a private area. I do not want to allow people coming back from the beach, walking back across my property, down that easement, going and getting their car. First off, what do people do when they come back from a beach? They want to shower, they want to clean themselves off. They empty their cars, they empty their trash. That's all I need is more noise, trash, and traffic on an easement when I'm sitting out on a beautiful Saturday or a beautiful Sunday, especially on a holiday, when I have my relatives there, when I have my friends there. It's an invasion of privacy. It's an invasion, and it's going to bring security issues to me, okay? When my hedges were thinned out, now everybody can see into my backyard. They can walk across my backyard. They'll be able to see I have a beautiful outdoor shower. What are these people going to do? I'm not there. Chances are, increased liability. People will walk to my backyard, clean themselves off, dump trash. I'm not there. I'm only there on certain weekends.
Our evening is over,
Okay.
okay? So we're either going to make a decision right now, or we're going to continue this till sometime in September, in which case you will not get your permit. So is there anything additional that any of the parties would like to give us, because we're going to conclude our night now?
Conclude, then I'll pass
Anything
on.
else? Anything else? Okay. Board have enough information?
Move to close the hearing.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
It's Mr. Cool and Mr. Haddad. All those in favor of closing this hearing, say aye. Aye. Opposed, unanimous vote. All right. What action would the board like to take?
Discussion?
Sure.
Excuse me,
The
before
hearing?
you enter into discussion, remember you have a continued hearing after this, so you
Yes.
do need to
Yeah.
vote on
I just
time.
wanted to make the point clear that our evening had
It's over.
concluded.
Make a motion, go to 10:15?
10:15.
Seconded.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. All right, where was I?
Discussion.
Discussion, go ahead, Scott, thank you. I remember the hearing's closed, so.
I can tell you, I live real close to Old Silver Beach. I know what the traffic's like there. I know
You
how
go
cars,
first, go ahead.
the cars go round and round and round when they can't find a place. However, I am very reluctant to allow additional parking on private property, even though I think it could solve some of the problem. I just don't want to see a bunch of parking lots. So I will not allow any private parking. I think it just isn't a good idea in a neighborhood.
Scott?
My concerns go beyond you. I think the safety issue on that corner continues to be an issue. And while we had some testimony about what happens at the Marshfield Fair, if anybody's ever been there, there's a policeman at every intersection. There's not a policeman at every intersection at the property we're talking about in that corner. Even if the sidewalk did connect the property to the existing sidewalk, I'd feel better. But for me, it's got too many things working against it for me to feel comfortable going to approve it. I understand and I sympathize with the applicant, but there's a very simple solution. Put a sign up and say that it's not open and they'll leave you alone. There's too many safety issues for me to approve this, Mr. Chairman.
I agree with Scott as far as the safety. That's the number one thing for me. When I was there, you know, like everybody testified to, there's people going up and down that road in cars, there's families walking from their homes that live in that general area, pulling wagons. I mean, little kids walking around, bicyclists, and if it's that congested, looking for a spot, you know, they're stopping, oh, here's a spot, I see a bunch of cars, I guarantee you they're slowing down, see if they can fit in there. Was just gonna back everything up onto Quake. It's just gonna be, it's a bad area anyway, with all those roads coming in. It's only gonna add to the congestion there. And it's 35 miles per hour. If you've driven down there, I mean, they're going more like 50 down there. So now you got people backing up. To me, it's a nightmare. And I think the engineer summed it up. It's, I don't know, sight lines, it's a quarter mile from the beach, the sidewalk, it's not good.
Mark?
Again, it boils down to a safety issue, and one of the interesting things that was addressed by the attorney is he believes that congestion would be alleviated. And yes, maybe down where congestion should be by the beach, waiting for parking, my feeling is you're removing that congestion, putting it in and closer to residential property. I don't think that's called for, and I think the engineering made a good point about pedestrian traffic. The other concern you had brought up, and you probably speak to it, is the site plan doesn't address parking, the surface coverage, the 40%. And so without that real number, it's hard to really know where to go on that.
Thank you for picking up on that, and that's exactly where I was going. I don't think the plan is adequate because we don't know what's included in it. This is an RB zone. Maximum coverage by structures, paving, and parking is 40%. So if we set aside part of that 40% for the easement, and again, all I can go with is this registered land surveyor, professional land surveyor's plan, which shows the lot which has the existing gravel drive. We don't know the extent of that gravel drive to take that away. It's already 5% over. So I don't even know what the numbers are. But aside from that, I have to agree with what everyone else has said. in terms of the safety, and I think particularly, David, your point that what this is it's attracting. People may drive through the neighborhood looking for a parking space, but it's almost like an attractive nuisance, that if they see a bunch of cars congregated, they'll line up saying, when next might somebody be out? And I think it's just, I think our engineering department has it right, and our engineering department knows the town fairly well. They don't have to be here every day of the year, because they are in town every day of the year, and they have a good sense of what the issues of safety are. So I would agree with where the board's going on this. So is there a motion?
Make a motion to deny application 6213.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I think Mark got you to it there, Scott. All right, the findings that you would like to have along with that, I'm sure, are that the safety concerns outweigh any public benefit for the parking for a fee at this site? Okay, anything else?
Inadequacy of the site plan with regard to lot coverage.
Yep. Anything else, Suri?
I think what I'll do is just pick up a few of your other comments and add them to the findings that
Okay.
the sidewalk and a few other things,
Right, excellent, thank you. Under the rubric of the safety. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. I'm sorry, the application is denied. Okay, we are going back to the continuation of hearing number 33-13. Linda, thank you for sticking with us all this time.
So I have to recuse.
Mark, thank you.
And you need me to come back.
We're only going to do minutes?
I think, do we need him for the minutes?
I'll
think
be
so.
back. I
Okay.
have no place to go.
Aw, did you hear that, Annie?
That's what happens when you're retired, right?
No place to go.
Linda, thanks for your patience with us.
Okay, yes, I've decided that it would be a good thing if you all take a look at shadow flicker.
Okay.
So we.
I'm sorry, Linda, I can't hear
I'm
you.
sorry.
She's suggesting that we
That we
wait till
can take a look
November.
at shadow flicker
Okay.
in real life. So let's see what we're talking about.
So-
The second week of
I
November?
would need you to sign another waiver, please, and it would go 2 weeks beyond the hearing dates that I have time to draft a decision and file it, okay?
Sure,
The hearing would be, and that decision would be made, but I still need time to draft
of
it.
course, of course.
So this, excuse me, let me, this late at night, I can't see with glasses. So how about, are you looking at the 14th of November? This
No,
7th or the 14th? When
maybe
when
the
are you back, Scott?
7th would be better.
I'm back in October, the end of
All right, the last
October.
week.
But
So,
November will be better for flicker, I think.
Yeah,
I just
so,
looked at, you have the calendar there too, and I think so.
so, I'm sorry, I have no ability to tell you what dates are. Is that a Thursday that we typically would meet on, the 14th of
Yes.
November? Then, that sounds like a good date.
so you've got the 7th, the 14th, or the 21st. The 28th is Thanksgiving.
Uh,
But if somebody wants to look at her calendar where the dates are highlighted to find out,
Was Ken on that?
it's in the file,
I'm not
That
available
28th.
Thanksgiving.
really?
We also will have a town meeting in there,
Oh, yeah, when is,
Oh,
that's
goodness.
the 14th,
and then
so,
we have a
When's
Veterans
town meeting,
Day,
Patty?
which- Well,
I don't know if
oh
they
my gosh, they
set,
announced it.
I don't think they do have, but it's usually the,
No, they announced it at the end of the April.
they did, and I don't know what it was.
Oh, I think it must be
I
the
won't know.
4th and the 5th. It must be, because the
Better.
11th is a holiday.
Yes, so we'll go with the,
Either
either
that
the
or it starts
14th or
the
the
12th.
21st.
I think the
So-
safest would be the 21st, to be
The
honest with
21st
you.
is what I'd
I
say.
will be leaving to, the first week in December now, if they're gonna continue again.
There's no guarantee, but I would hope not. I mean, the board is continuing this so they can observe the
Right.
flicker.
Right.
Although there may be some other things that we may mention that might be
Either-
useful for you to provide
Right.
for us.
Let me go back and look at the 14th.
Thursday,
yes.
why don't, well, they would be Halloween, the 31st.
One person has to ask Melanie what her schedule
Yeah,
is.
that's October, Patty.
No, we're saying the 14th, is that right? No.
Quicker starts on the 26th.
I care.
Town meeting last year was on the 13th of November.
That's what I thought.
That's right, because
It was the
of-
day after the holiday,
Right,
and it went for Tuesday, Wednesday,
And
Thursday. Yeah.
Is it in the minutes that might be accessible on the
it's what in the
laptop here?
minutes.
Well, I do know that it was the 13th last year. As to what this,
Yeah, and to
And
be
we
safe,
also-
we should probably make it the
21st.
21st then.
yeah, I think so too, because town meeting is never going to be the week of Thanksgiving.
That's right, because elections would be the second Tuesday if there are any elections this year. State elections. State or federal, excuse me.
Okay.
I'm tired. Could I have some cheese?
Yeah, I think 21st is about it.
Okay.
Yeah, the 21st is.
I would guess the 21st is the only safe date. If you don't want to do the 31st, which will have flicker. According to the schedule, we flicker on the 31st of October.
October, yeah.
Right,
Okay,
Linda?
the 21st is minute, 21st.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at the 14th or 21st of November, and I think the 21st is going to be
The
better
same
for
one,
everybody.
but I hate this one.
Yeah, I don't
I
like
hate
this one.
this site, yeah.
Yeah. It's not, it's friendly
It's-
to
yeah.
use.
Let me see. It might
Well,
make
I
you
won't look it up.
happier.
If you'll look it up, you'll probably get quicker thumbs down.
sorry?
Well, either way, it's going to start probably at 7 when they turn it on, around 7 when they turn it on. You'll need to be there if you want
Right.
to.
Right.
As long as nobody calls the police on us when we go to the site visit at 7.
So
Well, my-
it looks like we're going to continue this to
Do you
the
have to go
20
the same day to the site visit, or you can't, right? You have to go.
But we
We could
can go
post-
individually or do a joint site, but I think it's beneficial if they all
Yeah.
go at different times,
Sure,
different days
that's fine,
possibly.
that's
so-
fine. So I'm saying that's the, no, that'll be better, the 21st.
The only
That'll give
other-
them time to go the week before.
The only other way we could do a joint visit at this point would be
It
to
gets
continue
light
it
at
to the
6.
date
No.
of the site visit and post that for the public to be available. So I okay.
Forget that, I'm not gonna serve coffee to the world here.
Okay.
Let's see.
So the 21st.
Actually, Matt, all I have to do, if you guys want to do a site, is just post that. We don't have
Yeah,
to
2 weeks.
publicize it tonight and convene. I can just post
No,
a site meeting with a quorum. But
I think it's better to, it's probably better, if it is the 21st, then you will have time to go see Flickr
Okay.
the week before or whatever.
More than once.
Yes.
More than once. That's
Yeah.
important.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll
The,
be right, so it's the 21st, huh?
Linda,
Yes.
let me see if the board has, since we are continuing it, we continue it for a particular reason there. Is there any other information that the board would like to have and deliberate upon?
No.
No, and wasn't Frank's comments were the only thing we were going to ask for was this, without him present.
That's right.
Would let him know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Very
Motion
good.
to continue.
Is there a motion to continue to, what are we doing it at, 6:30?
Why can't we, let's do it at 6?
Okay.
Is that okay?
It's fine with me to get a little jump on this because we didn't get anyone else's testimony yet.
exactly.
So a motion
Yeah.
to continue to the 21st of November at 6
Make that
PM.
motion.
I'll second Mr.
David and
Haddad's motion.
Scott. All those in favor of the continuation, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. Thank you, Linda, for sticking with
Thank
us
you.
as long. And I just want to also let you know that there may be the possibility that we may be back at your property before October or November. So
Right.
just,
Not to see Flickr particularly. Oh, you
No.
can, no. you
I
can
mean,
fly.
it's continued, so we still may continue to
Sure.
be there, okay?
That'll be fine.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next on our The agenda somewhere in my packet here is minutes.
Is it tomorrow yet?
Is it tomorrow?
July 18th.
Everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes of July 18th.
No,
Any
I don't want
corrections
it
or
this time of
changes? And I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the 18th. Was everyone
I
here?
make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous vote. All right, just a couple of calendar things to let you know, and Sari, you'll let Frank and other folks know about the continuation. Monday evening, I am told, although I haven't seen the agenda yet, that there is an item on the Board of Selectmen's agenda to discuss our request for funding for special counsel. So that would be Monday, the 29th. Again, I have not heard when that might be occurring during the evening, and I have not seen it on the agenda. There is a scheduled meeting with the subcommittee from the Finance Committee at 9:15 the following morning, which is Tuesday, the 30th, to discuss, if necessary, any action or inaction by the Board of Selectmen on the 29th. And then it's anticipated that the next Tuesday would be a meeting of the Finance Committee, if necessary, all again to discuss this issue. So we've got the 29th, and you can look on the website for the agenda, or I'll have Sari send it out. The 30th at 9:15, and then anticipated the next Tuesday
I'm sorry, go ahead.
evening at the school administration building.
I don't know if I've asked before, but if it does go through to the Finance Committee, can we all go if we want to?
That's why I'm giving you these dates, because, you know.
Participation is appreciated?
Yeah, except your participation wouldn't be.
I get it.
That was subtle.
Yes, I answered. The other thing too is that I do not intend to notice any meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for any of those dates. And the reason being is that we will not be deliberating as a body. And secondly, part of the participation is you as individuals and not the Zoning Board of Appeals
So
as
quorum.
a whole. So even though there will be there may be a quorum of board members there, I will not notice a meeting because there will not be deliberation by that quorum. And also you're there as individuals that are impacted as well. Okay?
Although we can sit as a unit, if we choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I usually go for the soft seats in the back. All right, without anything further to come before this meeting, I will adjourn it.
Okay.
I took